Today, after this video, you'll be using Claude Code as a pro to build real applications with AI. If you are ready, let's get started. So here I am in VS Code and Claude Code is installed and running. So let's say and start by creating a simple snake game. So first we enter a prompt like this here. Build me a snake game using Python and Pygame. And in case you want to go with a new line, you simply press Shift Enter if you have a long multi-line prompt. And let's say here, modular clean structure. And modular is one of the secret words you use in your prompts to build scalable applications. Anyway now, so we have this prompt, and now whenever you want to start a new project or you have a new task, we usually go into the planning mode. So you can go here to select plan mode or simply shift tab to switch to planning mode. And you can see here in Claude now, we can set the thinking effort. So how much you want Claude to think planning or executing this prompt. Of course, higher effort means more tokens and it costs more. Anyway, so I'm in the plan mode now and let's plan this simple game. Okay, great. So it finished planning. You can read the plan here and then click yes and auto accept, and Claude will start building your application or the game in our case. And you can see since we said modular structure, we will see now files for every feature in the application. This is called modular. So it have multiple files and each file is responsible for something specific in the application or the game in our case. Perfect, it's done. Now it tells me to run the application. Just go to terminal, new terminal, and say Python main. Enter. Perfect. And here's the snake game. Wow. Now look at this. I will open another project, one of my big projects, and I will go to Claude here and run this prompt. Scan the project for files with more than 600 lines of code. By the way, this is a good practice to do, like a habit. Scan the code base for large files. Idea here, if you now go, you will notice that Claude by default will ask to find and to read files. It requires read permissions. Now when you work with big projects, you will see later that this will be somehow annoying, and maybe you want Claude to auto accept read operations so it has access to read your files, your projects automatically to save you some time instead of clicking yes every now and then. So what you can do here is to open Claude directory, which is app data. If we open it here, you will see it is username app data roaming Claude, and here we can create a settings.json file. Let's open it, and what you can do here is to add some rules that makes Claude automatically accept all these read operations. So simply you can add permissions, allow for bash, read, web fetch to fetch a web link, web search, MCP connection. We'll talk about this in a few seconds. So in this way, and save. Now Claude every time wants to do any of these operations, it will auto accept without your permission, and this will help you save some time. Let's now yes allow and continue. You see now it's finished and we got these two files with 900 lines of code. Anyway, let's see now some useful commands inside Claude. If you write slash here, you will see we have a bunch of slash commands you can use. Let's take a look on the context. This will give you a summary of the context used, like how much tokens. In my case, it's 22,000 from 1 million for Opus 4.6, like it's 2%. So this way you can monitor your context while building, and in case the context is getting bigger and bigger, it's a good practice to switch to a new session, and gives you a breakdown of everything here by percentage and tokens. Perfect. Another is the cost. You can see how much this is costing you if you are on the API usage. In my case, I'm in a subscription, so we don't have costs in my case. Okay, let me switch now to another project I'm building, which is my main website. And here I have somehow a long session, so I can show you this command in action, which is compact. This will simply compact the full conversation to save on context, so you can continue with like a summary of what you did. Before running this, let me show you the context. So you can press escape to cancel any command. Let's go here to context, and you will see that currently I'm on 8%. So let's go and compact and wait a little bit. And by the way, while it's compacting, you can see here we have .claude folder inside the project. So you can also configure settings on a project level if you don't want to apply on the full projects. So here we have settings.json, and you can apply permissions and whatever you want on a project level. So let me show you something interesting. You can create your own custom comments. So I will create here a new folder called comments, and then create a new file, markdown file. I'll call it Hassan.md. So let's say I want to call my comment Hassan, my name, and simply enter any prompt here, whatever you want, like scan my full project. So now whenever I run this command, it will run the prompt inside it. So let's close this. And if I open a new Claude session now and go here / you will see my custom comments. You can create any custom comment you want, anything reusable, you can add it here as a custom comment inside Claude Code. So I will run this command and now it will run the prompt inside it. You see it's now finding all code files. Perfect. Let's go back here to the compact session. So let's go and see the context now. It was, I think, 8%. Now it is 2%. Perfect. So you see now the compact command will compress the context window or the conversation you have in this session. The next command is the clear command. So you can clear the conversation, simply say / clear to clear the conversation. So this is about commands and custom commands in Claude Code. Let's now move on to something interesting, which is the MCP. So the MCP simply is like an adapter, a unified adapter that allows you to connect with any API or service through Claude Code. You see here, we have the MCP connector connected with APIs, with services, with different applications, with API documentations, and so on. Let me show you a simple example to grasp the idea easily. Here on my website, you will see I have Simple LLM. If you're following, you know it. It's a library I built to interact with language models easily and build AI applications easily. And here you will find we have the documentations. So in case you want to build something with Simple LLM, you need, for example, to go here to the documentation, copy the snippet, and then go here and tell Claude Code using this docs, for example, and you paste it here, build me X and Y, and so on. Or what you can do simply is to connect Claude Code with Simple LLM MCP. So going back here to my website, you will see I have an MCP server. So now you will notice it's like a trend. Every service, every application, every API is building their own MCP server. So anyone using Claude Code or AI tools can connect easily to this MCP client or adapter. So you can see here, if you are using Claude Code, you just copy this command here and you go to your terminal and you just paste it here to install this MCP. Enter, and it will tell me now it's already installed, I think. Yes, it's installed. I will say Claude MCP list, and you see now Simple LLM is already here. And as a small tip, if you are using Claude, the application, the web application, you will see here in the settings, we have connectors, and you can connect your MCP servers here. You can see it's connected. Let me show you this. If I go here and tell it now, for example, using Simpler LLM, create a simple YouTube summarizer tool. Look what will happen now. Enter. It will automatically go and scan Simple LLM documentation. It will automatically read it from my website here to the MCP, so you don't have to worry about the documentations and how you can inject them in the code and how to tell Claude about it. It will automatically read and build based on documentation, and this is very important. The same is here. If you go here and copy the same command to Claude and open a new session, and if I tell it now the same, go plan mode, enter, you will see it will research Simple LLM capabilities through the MCP, connecting to any service, any API. You see, allow MCP Claude. So it's connecting now and reading documentation to plan based on that. So that's MCP. Now let's jump into hooks. Hooks are simply specific actions and commands you can configure in specific moments in the Claude's workflow. For example, before you use a tool, after you use a tool, notifications, on stop, on session start. These are moments in the Claude workflow. You can hook into them and run a command. For example, if you want Claude to fire a sound when it finishes a task on stop, you can add this hook on stop, and then the command will be to run this PowerShell command to play this sound. I'm using PowerShell because I'm in Windows. You can run any command you want here. Also, you can pass a file name or a wave sound to play on stop. This is very useful, by the way. So if you are planning something and you minimize the Claude or VS Code, it will play a sound so you can know when it finishes working. So this way you can add any hook you want. And by the way, by the end of the video, I will give you a file with examples on permissions, on hooks, so you can use easily and implement in your workflow. But for now, just focus to understand the concepts so you can easily implement anything you want after this video. Okay, now let me show you something really interesting. If you go here to Claude Code and go to /models, you will see we have a switch model command to pick up models from Claude. We have Sonnet, Haiku, and Opus. What if you want to use other providers? Something else other than Anthropic models? We have something interesting, an application called CC Switch, an open source free application you can download. And you see here, I added Minimax. So you can simply go here to plus and add different providers like DeepSeek, Minimax, and much more. In my case, as you can see here, I added Minimax, and simply I will click here enable. If I go back here to Claude, if I restart Claude now and go to /model, you will see I have Minimax 2.7 here. I can pick it up and use it in Claude Code. Hi, and now I'm using Minimax. Perfect. Okay, now let's jump to plugins. If you go here /plugins, you will see we have manage plugins command, and you can install plugins and connect with Claude Code to add more functionalities. And also we have the marketplace. You can search on GitHub. For example, here I have the Claude Provider plugin. It's a plugin that adds the ability, like the CC Switch application, to add different providers. So you can select the path URL here and install plugins to Claude. For example, we have Context 7, that allows you to connect automatically with API documentations. We have front-end design. We have superpowers. We have Ralph for long-running tasks, and much more. We have a lot of plugins, and many people are developing plugins to add more functionalities to Claude Code. Now, before I move on to the top 3 best practices when building applications with the Claude, I still have one tiny thing to mention, which is Claude.md file. Here in Claude, if you have a project, for example, you get a project from GitHub and you want Claude to understand it, we have this command, init command, that will read, analyze the project, and create a Claude.md file. Let's run it and see it in action. So now, in a few seconds, you will see now Claude is reading, analyzing the project. What happened here is Claude generated this Claude.md file. You see it? Claude.md. Other markdown file that explains the structure and what this project is about. Now, if it's a new project, usually we don't generate this Claude.md file, but what you can do after creating the main project, you generate this file and you can tell Claude every time to update it, to keep it updated with the new structure and what's inside your project. Not only that, you can use this as a guide or rules for your project. For example, you can add here rules or ask Claude to update with some rules. For example, always create modular, for example, anything you want. The idea here is this file here will be always read by Claude whenever it runs a new session. So it will understand the structure and the rules and the guides of this specific project through this Claude.md file. So you can add your rules, your guides, whatever you want related to this specific project in this file. Okay, now I want to jump to something really very important, which is understanding the best practices and the pillars of building real, scalable, production-ready apps with Claude Code and AI. Number 1, which is building modular. I always repeat this. which is simply telling Claude whenever you create a new feature, when you create the project, to build in a modular structure. So every tiny feature will have its own piece of code, so it's easy for the AI to understand, and you will see how easy it is to update and scale such modular structure. Look, I built applications with millions of lines of codes, complex applications, and they are now running in production with thousands and thousands of users using Claude Code because of this modular structure. Number two, which is really very important, which is always finish one task per session. And the flow will be planning, coding, and then testing. When you are done, here we have a very important tip, which is committing to GitHub. So always commit new features to GitHub. In case anything happens, anything breaks, you can go back to any point backwards on your GitHub repository. This is very important. So always your flow per session will be planning, coding, testing, and pushing to GitHub. And number three, which is the most important, is before you code and build anything, you need to understand the building blocks of your application. For example, if you want to build a YouTube summarizer, you need to understand which AI models to use, which APIs to use to read the YouTube videos. So you need to be familiar with the building blocks and not just tell AI like blindly build me this application. No, you need to understand exactly the building blocks so you can prompt the AI correctly to build real applications. And this is exactly what I teach in my Solo Builder course. I teach the building blocks so you can go from zero to your dream application in 12 days. If you're interested, you can check the full course in the description below. If you learned something new today, don't forget, smash the like button and see you in the upcoming videos.